focus on the good. January 29, 2014. Let us be honest, dear ones, how much of your time is spent judging and criticizing other dear souls? Possibly remarking on their choice of clothing, cleanliness, shoes, actions, or any other thing that catches your attention in order to judge, assume and to give unwarranted opinions. For the most part, dear ones, the truth is, casting judgment is done quite often. Just because you don't say what you are thinking doesn't mean your thoughts don't have weight or consequences. If you are completely happy and at peace with all that you are, then you are most likely to not feel the need to judge others. Have you ever wondered why you judge or criticize your fellow brothers or sisters? The root to this unnecessary development is insecurity. It is the main reason you judge and criticize others, and every time you speak unkindly or perform an unkind act, you are not allowing love to enter the picture, and love is the healer of all wounds, especially the internal ones. Whenever you are unhappy or feeling out of sorts with your total self, we have witnessed how easy it is for you to turn your blue mood onto someone else. You may insult them, put them down, or make them feel guilty just so you yourself can feel good. But in truth it doesn't feel good, or at least not for long, when your judgmental actions have caused hurt to the ones who have received your judgment or criticism. So many dear souls put up a tough front, but their heart and their soul knows making other dear souls feel bad is not the way to happiness and peace. We understand your journey can be frightening. More often than not, you find yourself facing the unknown and can easily be intimidated by others, or feel outdone if someone seems to have gone ahead and succeeded in something you feel should have been yours. When fear enters the picture, dear ones, your ability to reason and see clearly seems to vanish. Putting down others just to feel better causes more harm than good, and each feeling, thought, emotion, word and action all carries weight, and you are accountable for all that you do towards your fellow brothers and sisters. Remember, they too are on their own journey, trying to figure out which way to go and what to do next. Instead of casting out unnecessary and inappropriate judgments and criticisms, how about lending a helping hand? Offer yourself as someone to turn to. Share that you too are going through some tough challenges, and that you are able to sympathize with their discomforts. Just because each of you are on different missions, does not mean you cannot be kind and respectful towards each other. Through your ability to share your pain and your achievements, you are able to grow and nurture not just yourself but those you communicate and associate with. A good step forward is knowing you must make some changes, and you begin creating an action plan that will implement those changes that will positively affect the way you respond and interact with others. Even if you are having a bad day, you have a choice to react in a kind and compassionate manner. Being judgmental hurts. It doesn't bring healing, it doesn't bring love or compassion, and it leaves the other person wondering what they have done to deserve your criticism and judgment of them. Even if you never say the words you wish you could, they still have the potential of coming out in an unexpected and often explosive manner. It is essential, dear ones, to become more thoughtful of what you are about to say. How would you feel if someone treated you poorly the same way, or assumed something incorrectly, or judged with a bias-based opinion? Many may say they wouldn't care, but deep down we know the truth, and we know there is not a dear soul out there that enjoys being hurt by the actions or words of another, and the person who owns the hurtful words or actions is also hurting. No love, no compassion, no acceptance and no respect is gained by being unkind. And every time a dear soul chooses to demonstrate unkindness towards another, they are not moving closer to God's heart, but further away. Unfortunately, the more dear souls choose to judge and criticize their fellow brothers and sisters, the more stereotypes are being formed. Then the dear souls who fall into these categories or stereotypes try to live up to expectations not decided by them, but decided by the ones who created the category or label. It makes no difference what race, gender, choice of spiritual practice, ethnicity, appearance or any other attribute that creates a stereotype. God loves each dear soul equally, and we encourage His demonstration of pure and genuine love to be what you are also sharing each and every day through your actions, words, feelings, emotions, thoughts and choices. Each dear soul has something wonderful and meaningful to contribute. If you would only stop rushing and listen, you will learn that their story is vital and is an essential part of your global backyard. The dear souls that feel forced to live up to certain standards, governed by those that judge and criticize them, doesn't promote them to living a life of liberation and happiness. They end up trying to live up to expectations decided by judgments and assumptions that have little truth. This is not the way, dear ones, to bring unconditional love, peace and compassion into the world. And the need to judge others, and choose to love, to be compassionate, to be at peace with yourself and with the world around you, choose to be kind, accepting and respectful, you will be amazed how positively those around you will respond. Judgments, criticism, biased opinions and untruthful assumptions are negative, and they don't attract anything but more negative. It makes little difference how cleverly you try to rationalize your judgmental behavior. By being judgmental of others, you are not bringing anything good and positive into the world. What you are doing is creating a flow of negative energy that doesn't raise the vibrations but makes the vibrations chaotic and heavy. Your negative energy can bring down other dear souls' energy. Each of you are here to contribute, to help bring change into the world for all to experience, to grow and to aid in the evolution of everyone that lives upon this planet. Instead of bringing more unhappiness into the world, choose to interact with other dear souls in a positive and encouraging way. Try to be more understanding of others, and remember, each dear soul is special and important. Learn to work together, become a team of unconditional love, kindness, respect, acceptance and genuineness. You want positive changes to happen around the world, then we suggest making those positive changes with yourself first. We also have witnessed and know that the ones who seem drawn to judge others are also judging themselves. Sometimes, dear ones, you are your worst critic. It is only natural to have expectations of yourself and of your goals, but give yourself some room for mistakes, room to grow and to improve. Give yourself room to share love and compassion with yourself. It is always possible to change a part of yourself that you know is negative and harmful. If you want to improve how you treat others and how you treat yourself, then we suggest you start becoming more thoughtful and monitor your thoughts and emotions. Instead of always targeting on the negatives, look for the positives. If you can find something negative in another dear soul or thing, even yourself, then you can also find something positive. Where you put your focus is a matter of choice. You choose to focus on the negative side of life and of other dear souls, or you choose to focus on the positive. Your thoughts are not meant to control you. You do have the power to push away negative thoughts in favor for more positive and kind thoughts, which will be reflected by the words and actions you choose to express. We spoke briefly about the negative aspect of stereotyping. Avoid it. Joining in the creation of stereotypes or putting someone into one is never a good thing, dear ones. Just because an option to be stereotypical arises doesn't mean you have to join in. While you are working at becoming less judgmental of others, become less judgmental of yourself. The more you give yourself the love you deserve, the more you will share that love with others. Instead of worrying about what others are doing, dear ones, put your focus on your own life, on your own goals and plans for achievement. Does it make a difference what a person's hairstyle is, or how they are dressed, or their spiritual practice? Will their personal choices affect your health, personal growth or spiritual development in any way? Let them live their life, dear ones, and you live yours. There will be times when your paths will cross, and when they do, we trust you will be mature enough to be respectful and compassionate. You will not give in to the ego's need to judge or criticize. Focus on the good, and more good you will attract. Try to remember a time when you were harshly judged, criticized or treated in an unkindly manner. Did it feel good? Did it make you angry or hurt? Those feelings you felt are the same ones other dear souls feel when they are being treated unkindly and unjustly. No good comes from treating others poorly. Treating others with decency and kindness can be a challenge in the beginning, but one that we know you can accomplish one day at a time. Comprehend, dear ones, the value of mercy is not meant to be stressful, but to be felt as gentle and comforting as it is something that comes from the heart and is meant to be given and received by all dear souls. When you are at one with your true self, the part of you that is aligned with Christ, you will be able to recognize your own truth and not force your truth onto others that have different opinions or ways of living and being. Fairness and mercy becomes a living part of your existence that will form each part of your life and be a part of every decision, and where the need to cast judgment and criticism becomes a thing of the past. Remember, dear ones, God sees all. He is always aware of what is in each of His children's hearts and minds, and when you are aligned with your Christ self, He trusts that you always choose kindness and love over judgments and harshness. God does not cast down judgment. Instead, He offers new directions and possibilities that will help bring new shape to your journey, to incorporate compassion, wisdom and mercy as part of your entourage of attributes. It is from His gift onto you that you learn to balance what you teach to others from what you have learned, and from any repayment of any karmic debts you may have been acquired by yourself or by others through joint involvement. God will not give you concrete instructions, but He will guide you towards directions that are best suited for you. He will love you and support you along your journey, letting you know you are not alone on this incredible journey that is constantly bringing in new opportunities to help bring in positive changes and growth-making experiences. Allow mercy's comforting light fill your heart to the point of overflowing, so you may share this wonderful nurturing and comforting light with all others that you interact with, even if they are merely in passing or someone you know well. Recognize, dear ones, the truth of living a life encouraged by love and compassion, and rest in its arms, knowing you are also resting in the loving arms of God. And so it is. I am Ascended Master, Lady Portia, through Julie Miller. spiritualnetworks.com